You may be quietly drifting through your own life right now. This is about stopping that drift. After years of saying, "It's fine," you look up and realize you can't see a lighthouse. You can't even see the shore anymore. And somehow, you still think you're moving forward. That's the quiet drift. You're not exactly miserable. You have a job. You have people in your life. Day to day, things mostly work. That's what makes it so hard to say, "I don't want to keep living like this." But you don't have to give anything up right now. And you definitely don't need to make some huge, dramatic commitment to fix your whole life. Start with one thing. Choose it for yourself again. But that won't fix everything. Even after you step away from other people's expectations, there's still one troublemaker hanging around. At the end, I'll tell you exactly who it is. The first move in taking your life back isn't quitting your job or moving away. It's changing one answer. The next time someone asks too much of you, try saying no once. If it makes your heart jump a little, good. That's about right. The world won't stop. Odds are, the meeting won't either. Say no to 1 hour you didn't want to give away, and you get that hour back that night. The problem is when sure comes out before you've even had time to think. That's a reflex, yes. It keeps things smooth in the moment. But the bill always comes later. And it comes to you. Exhaustion, irritation, that little regret. I didn't want to do that. So the first thing to change isn't your life. It's your answer. But here's the catch. Being able to say no to small things isn't the same as deciding the big things for yourself. If you want to move forward with a big choice, take back the final say. Asking for advice and waiting for permission are two different things. I want to change jobs, but only if my family is okay with it. Once I'm a little more confident, once things settle down, that's how the day you start keeps getting pushed back. Before you ask everyone what they think, decide what you want first. Then ask. Change the goal of the conversation from, "I need them to approve this," to, "What am I missing?" You can't control what your family thinks. They may disagree. They may worry. But you don't have to let them make the final call. Their opinions can help you think. Just don't hand them the final say. That puts the final say back with you. But just because you made the decision doesn't mean the choice is really yours. If you borrowed your definition of success from someone else, you may be the one deciding, but you're still heading towards someone else's version of success. So ask yourself, is the definition of success you're using actually yours? At my age, it's already too late. By now, I should have that title. If you start measuring your age against someone else's timeline, your whole life starts to feel late. You got promoted. You're making more money. From the outside, everything looks like it's going well. But Sunday night comes, and just thinking about work tomorrow makes your stomach sink. If you're still calling that doing well, take the job title and salary out of the picture for a second and ask, if nobody praised me for this, would I still want to keep living this way? If the answer is no, you may be using someone else's yardstick. Getting a high score by someone else's yardstick doesn't make your life yours. For your next goal, don't ask, will people think this is impressive? Ask, do I want to keep living this way? Once the yardstick is yours, the goal can be yours too. But even if the goal is yours, you may still not be choosing what gets your time. The problem isn't just whether you can say no. You can stop and think before saying yes. But if the reason is, I don't want them to dislike me, you're still handing them your time. You want to go home, but you stay. You don't like it, but you smile anyway. They're people you actually like. Yet every time you see them, you come home drained. and you still text, "Had a great time." Once? Fine. That's just being social. Every time? That becomes an approval tax you pay with your time and energy, and most of the time, it's on autopay. The next time an invitation comes in, ask yourself, if I knew nobody would dislike me for saying no, would I still want to go? If yes, go. That's time you chose. If no, maybe you're not spending that time on the relationship. Maybe you're spending it to buy approval. A boundary isn't there to reject people. It's there to keep your time and your choices in your own hands. Even after you take all that back, open social media and other people's standards can slip right back in. The hard part about comparison isn't just that it makes you feel bad. Do it long enough, and you start editing yourself to become more like the people you're comparing yourself to. You're scoring two lives under completely different conditions. When you feel behind, you're comparing their result to your work in progress. You see a friend post about a promotion. You want to be happy for them. But the first thing you feel is that rush of anxiety. They're at the awards ceremony. You're in the middle of a Tuesday. Not enough sleep, a mistake at work, and a messy room. Compare their award ceremony to your backstage, and you lose every time. Once you feel like you lost, you start editing yourself to fit those standards. You hide what you like, water down what you want to say, make yourself smaller before anyone even gets the chance to think you're weird. Eventually, even a life that seemed fine before starts looking full of flaws. You thought you'd handed the yardstick back. Then every time you open social media, you pick it right back up. So when you close the app, come back to one thing that's yours to do today. Make one call. Work for 10 minutes. Put one thing away. Come back to what you can actually control. Keep doing that, and you'll spend less time watching what everyone else is doing. By now, it's tempting to think, if I can just quiet the outside voices, I'll be free. If that were all it took, this would be easy. But sometimes, even when you're alone, you're still not free. Here's the troublemaker I mentioned at the beginning. You want to rest, but you feel guilty. You want to apply. Then, what will people say if I fail? And you close the application. You write something, then delete it because they might think I'm stupid, no one's even there, and you still stop yourself. That troublemaker is the audience in your head. Not some great coach, more like a loud spectator in the back row, yelling whatever they feel like. You're gonna fail. They'll laugh at you. Don't do it. The problem is, you hear that heckling like it's the coach talking, but you don't have to argue back. That spectator doesn't get to stop the game. They'll hate you if you say no. Say no anyway. If you rest, you'll fall behind. Rest anyway. If you put that out there, they'll laugh at you. Don't delete it. The stands may still be loud, but the next morning, the world keeps going like normal. What the audience in your head hates most isn't an argument. It's being ignored. It may not shut up after one try. Ignore it a few times and keep playing. The goal isn't to make it shut up. It's to keep making the play you chose, even while you can hear it. Once you can do that, the troublemaker is just another spectator. But choosing for yourself doesn't mean you get to act irresponsibly. Say you stay at your current job for another 6 months to support your family. What are you staying for? How long are you staying? If you decide those things for yourself, then it isn't, I can't quit. It's, I've decided to stay for now. Same action. But now your life starts with, I chose, not I had no choice. You don't have to wait for the sea to calm down. You can't choose how high the waves get, but you can choose which way to steer next. Pick one thing you've been letting slide with "it's fine" and stop letting it slide. That's where the quiet drift starts to end.